Come on, guys, get on in here. I know it's Saturday night and everybody's out partying. I just flew in from San Antonio and boy, are my arms tired. Oh, come on, that was funny. All right, seriously. I get these stories about bad cops that come across my feed and come across from subscribers, and I see a lot of egregious stuff. And most of the time I'm just like, this is so common that you just kind of harden your heart to it. But what I've got here today is so egregious, so outrageous that I have to show it to you, especially in light, for those of you that missed it, the Fraternal Order of Police, specifically Pee Wee Herman, Joe Gamaldi, has gone to the Senate, the House, Congress with a bill to make it so that police officers that commit suicide on their off-duty time receive benefits just as though they were killed in the line of duty. No other profession gets this. None. But, the Fraternal Order of Domestic Terrorists, Fraternal Order of Police, think that is appropriate for police officers. Now, my issue with this is that hiring standards have fallen to such low levels for law enforcement that, they're taking, I won't say psychopaths, but sociopaths for sure. They are taking people that we can project in the future will very likely kill themselves when they get caught doing bad things to kids, when they get caught doing bad things to their spouses, women, whatever. It is easily predictable. And rather than address the problem, Joe Gamaldi and his crew of domestic terrorists, they want to do something different. They want to help to make those guys, they're enabling them. They're enabling them. I think that a lot of people that if they actually cared about their families and were considering suicide, would reconsider when they realize that their family is going to suffer financially without them. So now you're just giving them one more check the box. Hey, go ahead. No great loss. And we're not talking about, a small amount of money here. When a police officer dies in the line of duty, I don't know how it is in your state, okay? But here in Texas, the survivor benefits are like close to $1 million. And that's not counting their personal insurance and stuff like that. So, and I'm not picking on that, okay? Don't get the idea that I'm picking on that, because I'm not. What I'm saying is, if you're so much of a coward that you take the coward's way out rather than facing life and facing the choices you've made and facing up to, whatever it is that you got a problem with, you should not be given, your family should not get survivor's benefits. I'm sorry. That's coming out of the taxpayer's pocket, and that should not happen. Let the Fraternal Order of Police take that money out of their retirement funds. How about that? I'd be okay with that. 100%. Make that part of your union dues. Right? I support that. But I will not support it coming out of the taxpayer's pocket. Now, that's not what we're here for tonight, though. So, we have... Man, this is tough. This is tough for me. We have 2 Precinct 4 deputy constables. One of them's married, having an affair with another deputy. Eventually, she gets caught or exposed. And keep in mind that the people at her job know about this. Mark Herman, the main constable out there, people in management, they know these 2 are having an extramarital affair. And they're okay with that. I find that doesn't surprise me from Mark Herman, given his history of womanizing. chasing after married women and stuff. But it was a time when I was growing up that if, when you get to work for a department, the chief would tell you, you keep it in your pants. Unfortunately, those days are gone as hiring standards have gone down. So these two are having an extramarital affair. They get caught. The wife engages in a divorce, getting a divorce. And in the course of that, it comes to light that this, and I'm gonna go to the story here in a second. This female deputy constable has been using her boyfriend's taser. They both have tasers, but for some reason she used her boyfriend's taser to punish her children. I just cannot get my mind wrapped around this. Now, as a father, I've done my fair share of punishing kids that were doing wrong. And if you ask my kids, they'll tell you I had some very creative ways of punishing them. For instance, take out the trash. Hey, didn't I tell you? Take out the trash. You got 2 times. The 3rd time, when you got home from school, you're going to find that bag of trash in your bed. Not dumped in your bed, just tied up and put in your bed. Hopefully, that will remind you next time to take out the trash. Things like this. Nothing violent. When it came to spanking my kids, and I do believe in spanking children, what I found was you did not have to be physically violent in spanking them. Generally, a swat would hurt their feelings, and that was more effective than physical violence. And so hurting their feelings really just got the job done more than anything else. So I never beat any child. I never beat any of my kids, but I did spank them. I'm okay with that. But using a taser as a disciplinary tool, remember, tasers came on scene and were for less lethal use. Okay, that meant if you had a situation where you could shoot somebody, but you could use a taser instead, you did that. Now they become compliance tools, basically implements of torture. And nowhere, anywhere, even in the taser literature, they tell you not to use a taser on a small child or a young child because it can hurt their growth. It can cause issues with brain development, all kinds of things. All right? But here we have this lady just, and they're going to say the word drive tasering. They mean dry tasering. So you have 2 ways to use a handheld taser. One is it fires 2 dart probes into a subject and delivers an electric shock that way. Or you have what's called the dry taser, where they put it against you and they can partially pull the trigger and it will shock you. That is what she was doing. She's dry tasering. But let's go to the story here. This is hard for me to talk about. I cannot fathom a parent doing this. And this isn't just the parent, this is the mother. The person who actually carried these children for 9 months. The person who actually birthed these children. And I can't get my head wrapped around this, honestly. But like I said, let's go to the story. Oh, hold on a second. We've got to get by all this junk here. A former Precinct 4 deputy. Oh, here we go. I don't know what this is. Oh, I know that guy. He's with the Harris County Sheriff's Department. He and I have had some really fun bumping heads. He's not a very nice person. But let's ignore that. All right, so here we go. Her name is oh man, I can't even say that. Ochitl Ortiz. She's 34 years old, was arrested after using the device on kids in early April, according to court documents. And then here we go. A former Precinct 4 deputy from Spring faces serious charges after allegedly using a taser on 3 of her children. 3. Old Cheadle Ortiz, 34, is charged 3 counts of injury to a child with bodily injury. That means that when she did this, okay, it left marks, it left injuries. She had allegedly used the weapon in dry stun mode by placing it against the children's bodies on their buttocks, shoulder, and hand. Dry stun is used by law enforcement as a compliance technique. The victims' ages, 12, 11, and 8, told CPS and Harris County Sheriff's Office investigators that they do not feel safe with Ortiz. Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman said he was notified of the allegations on April 14th and his office worked together with the Harris County Sheriff's Office on the investigation. Ortiz was arrested Wednesday, May 18th. Let that sink in for a minute. 6 weeks. She is being held at Harris County Jail on a $150,000 bond. Ortiz and her boyfriend, also a Precinct 4 Constable deputy, both had duty-issued tasers. Herman said the boyfriend was also fired for violating departmental policy. We aren't naming him since he hasn't been charged in the case, but court documents say his taser was instigated in the investigation. In other words, she used his taser in the course of doing this. And some of you may wonder what his name is. And his name should be out there, but the constable won't release it. I don't know why. I mean, this is how we keep gypsy cops from moving from place to place and doing this stuff over and over again. But former Precinct 4 Constable Deputy Christopher Worthington is the dirtbag that didn't do anything to prevent this, didn't report it, didn't do anything. Christopher Worthington. So if you're out there looking to hire this guy at another department, think twice. Definitely think twice. Can stun guns harm children? Strategies for Use, a national nonprofit, says its research shows the use of stun guns and tasers on children can be very harmful and even deadly. By dint of their psychology and physical lack of maturity, the use of CEWs on young people is particularly risky, threatening long-lasting, permanent physical and emotional damage and even death, the group says in its 52-page study results. The group says Axon, the largest distributors of tasers in the United States, recommends against using weapons on children. And yet, this mother does it, and her boyfriend, Christopher Worthington, does nothing to stop it, and himself does not report it. Now, she's been charged. What I want to know is, why hasn't he been charged as well? He was present when it occurred. He had knowledge of it. He should be charged just the same as she has been. If you drive somebody to the bank, they go in and rob the bank and get caught, the two of you get caught, they're going to charge you with robbing the bank right alongside of him, simply because you were there. Whether you had knowledge of it or not, they're going to charge you. This guy had knowledge. His taser was the taser that was used. He failed to report it to his department. He failed to report it to the police, family services. He took no action. He is a co-conspirator and should be criminally charged. Mark Herman can do that. Mark Herman can take that case to the district attorney's office and say, look, he had culpability in this. He's a co-conspirator. Now, granted, it would likely get plea bargained down, but it should be on his record. because he's in up to his neck, just like she is. Let me go to comments here real quick, guys, and look over what you guys are saying. It's evil. That's right. Evil. This is the type of people we are pulling into law enforcement. And the Fraternal Order of Police, old Joe Gamaldi, will tell you, oh no, it's only, the bad cops are, it's only 0.1%. My personal experience, heck, just watch the news. The percentages are more along the lines of 80% bad, 80%. Don't listen to the lies from the Fraternal Order of Police. Don't listen to the lies from the police unions. If you're pro-police, did I get punched? No, I didn't get punched. Where do you see I got punched from? But the dark circles, I just need to get some sleep. I've been doing some traveling over the last 24 hours. Anyway, if you're pro-police, you cannot sit back and just say everything they do is okay. Look at the evil deeds, and you can say, oh, it's just that 1/10 of percent. Okay, it's just that 1% or that 1/10%. If you believe that, fine. But go and look. There were more police officers charged with sex crimes last year than ever before in the history of this country. There were more police officers charged last year with criminal acts while on duty than ever in the history of this country. Do you see a pattern here? And it's not just about being anti-police or pro-police. If you think I'm anti-police, you go right ahead. That's not it. It doesn't matter if you're anti-police or not. The truth is the truth. Don't blame the messenger. We've got to figure out a way to stop this because it's only getting worse. Good, honorable men are going to other professions. Law enforcement as a profession, or a whatever you want to call it, is so short-handed now that once again they are lowering the standards to hire just to put people in the seats of the patrol cars. And that's because the good guys are getting out. They're outnumbered. Don't get me wrong, there's still some good guys out there. I know some good guys out there. Okay? But when you have whole departments that are corrupt, like Deer Park and LaPorte, just to name a couple, what's left? Why would a good guy want to stay there? Just trying to ride it out to get to his retirement? And a lot of them are doing that. And they're taking that retirement. Guys that would normally go work 30, 35 years are taking retirement as early as they possibly can to get out. Because they're tired of the crooked cops, the crooked chiefs, the crooked unions. I just see it getting worse. I mean, look at how they've targeted me. It is atrocious. Throwing confidential informants at me. I mean, it's crazy the amount of effort they have put into targeting me. And I am very, very fortunate that God has blessed me with the ability and the tools to fight. If it weren't for that, the average person would have been buried. I would have been buried. And that's what they wanted. Didn't work out for them. As a matter of fact, it has worked just the opposite. But we'll get to that at a later date. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to share this with you just because it is so mind-boggling to me. I don't get it. I seriously just do not get it. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate y'all popping in here to listen to me rant. And for those of you that are asking about me auditing, I'm out a little bit here and there. Mostly what I'm doing right now is cop watching, but I will be back to full-time auditing directly, probably another month, 6 weeks before I can actually get back out. I'm still doing a little bit of auditing here and there, just not full-time like I have done, but I will be going back to full-time here directly. Please be patient with me. I appreciate that patience, and I will see you guys again soon. Y'all have a good weekend and be